kind of jump into it. Got a couple of things on the log. Actually, one of them didn't make it onto the log, but it was a rape report. The reason it didn't make on log is it came in initially as a check the well-being report, but we had officers that were looking for a runaway, or there was a 15-year-old girl that had been reported as a runaway, and during the investigation into that found out that she was staying with a 20-year-old guy at a motel. This call was yesterday morning a little after 8 a.m. The address is in the 2600 block of East 10th Street. The two of them ended up, there was really no connection between them. He first sent her a message through Instagram, and that's where the two of them connected. During the course, they had a conversation. There was a lot of different things that were said, and at one point he arranged to have her picked up and then brought to that motel room. She had stayed with her, I'm not sure exactly, but it was maybe a day or two, and then as they investigated into this further, they learned that there had been some sexual contact between the 15-year-old girl and the 20-year-old guy. He was arrested for 4th-degree rape, solicitation of a minor, and then contributing to the delinquency of a minor. And I can give you his name if you're interested. This last is Jones, Jones. First is Cornell, Cornell. Middle is Ramon, Ramon, 20 from Sioux Falls.
So you guys found this out via just looking for her, or was it was through Instagram, or how did you
No,
guys?
it was just through the process of the investigation. And so they had officers that were looking for her because she had been reported as a runaway, and then through the course of that investigation learned that these conversations took place, and obviously that's where she was located. So it was really just this whole investigation trying to find the missing runaway, and then learning that all of this other stuff took place. Anything else on that? Okay. We had a couple of robberies yesterday that we believe are linked. One of them ended up on the log. The other one, the cutoff is like 8 a.m., so the other one happened before 8 a.m. So that first one yesterday was at 6:50 a.m. This was at Crown Casino, which is in the 2400 block of East 10th Street. This was, I suppose, more of an attempt. We had two guys that walked up to the back door. One of them fired a gun 2 times at the glass door. They kicked it, and then they walked away. So they weren't able to get inside. There was an employee that was inside at the time, but there were no injuries. And then about 9:30 a.m., the same two guys went to a different casino attached to Woody's. It was the Silver Dollar Casino, the 900 block of South Marion Road. Inside that business, we had 2 employees and then 1 patron. During the process of this robbery, both of the guys had guns at this point in time. They pointed guns at all 3 of the victims inside. They ended up getting cash and then left. Detectives are making good progress on these investigations. We're able to determine that it was the same 2 guys in both cases. We believe we've recovered at least one of the guns, or not at least, we believe we've recovered one of the guns that was used. No arrests at this point in time, but like I said, we're making good progress with the investigation, so hopefully we'll have another gun recovery or at least some arrests in the near future, but we're still working on the cases at this point in time.
Any concerns for the public, or do you?
Concerns for the public, I mean, obviously there's a concern anytime that we have robberies like this and people are using weapons. It seems to be these casinos are the targets of that. So one of the things detectives always look at when they're making progress and realize that there's a couple of robberies linked, they'll look at other similar robberies. And I know we had one recently where there was, I think it was on North Cliff Avenue, where a casino was robbed at gunpoint. So they'll be looking to see if that's tied in with any of these. We don't have anything necessarily random. It's just been casinos targeted, but That happens from time to time because casinos have cash on hand, so unfortunately they end up being a target for robbers when they want cash. So the general public, I would say no. A lot of the casinos have some built-in safety measures, things to try to keep employees and patrons safe, and then all of them have fantastic surveillance video, and that always plays a part in the investigations of trying to figure out who's responsible for these. So in that case, detectives will be using that surveillance video. That's usually one of the main tools to be able to link different robberies, and sometimes it's clothing, sometimes it's mannerisms, sometimes it's the weapons that are used, and it really just kind of depends on the different factors and different details that may come out in the surveillance videos.
Do you guys know like how they got to the casinos? Is that on surveillance video at all? Do you have a description of, did they drive in a vehicle?
We're still working on all of that, but some of the casinos have cameras outside, some of them just have cameras inside, so it really just kind of depends. But
descriptions on the suspects?
Men, they were wearing masks, so I don't have a whole lot of details on that. So, but like I said, we're making progress with the investigation, so I'm not able to give out all the details that we've learned at this point in time, but we're working on those. No arrests have been made, but we're hoping there'll be some arrests in the near future, but it just depends on how the investigation unfolds. Those are really the two big things. The suspicious object, I don't have any reports on that. Everything else is just a report, so I didn't have anything else unless you have any questions for me. Nothing? Okay, sounds good. Thanks.